And everything's fine, and it lands, but there was some smoke, and there was a threat of some fire there on the tarmac because the suggestion had been that maybe the brakes had overheated. And I was surprised at how urgent the stewardesses, the flight attendants, sounded. Because they're already landed. People are going to get off. They inflated the ramps. I mean, I don't even know if they had confirmed that there was smoke. I'm sure that's all protocol, but it's not like you're midair. You've landed. You're fine. You're at the terminal. They're going to open a door. And they're like, leave your bags.
Oh, jeez.
Leave your bags. Come this way. Come this way. Come this way. Come this way. Leave your bags. Leave your bags.
I mean, that sounds like you're mid-flight and they're trying to get everybody in another part of the plane that's,
Right.
This is very strange. Because, boy, those flight attendants, for the most part, you'll be in a situation that you think would require a bit more emotion, and they'll just look at you like you got a nipple in your forehead, like they don't, So here's one that's on the ground. Your guys' flight was okay, right? To Vegas? Any issues? No lost bags? Anything like that?
No, our flight attendants were pretty much unbothered. There was more rowdy passengers than anything. The flight home was awful because, again, it's a red eye, so everyone stuck with that flight because it was the cheapest.
What time did that take off?
Well, it got delayed. It was supposed to be at 9, and then we heard that our plane had mechanical issues, so they had to find another plane. So it got pushed back to 10:15. So we didn't leave out of Las Vegas until 10. Everyone's tired. We had sat at the airport for many hours. And when someone finally got on, as I'm leaning on my mom, this bitch y'all just left Vegas and y'all acting like this? Y'all too quiet. I'm still ready to go. She walks in with a pizza.
So she walked on drunk.
She walked in with a pizza and sunglasses. She's just don't worry, I'm not about to talk like this the whole flight. She's I'm about to eat my pizza and go to sleep. I'm I hate this bitch just because she
Cool,
can sleep.
thank you for narrating your life for me, ma'am. I won $7. Perhaps you didn't hear, but I'm flush right now.
Yeah, I learned that I'm not a gambling. I don't have that in me because I got my $7 and I was chipper because I'm ooh, what can I buy with this? And in Las Vegas, absolutely nothing. But I put it towards something else. I was wow.
Your peace of mind.
I got $7. $7 whole dollars that I put in too.
And also at the airport, you're still surrounded by slot machines.
Yep.
So if some people are happy for a layover there.
My mother she is Snacks McGee. You think I'm a snack king? She is the snack queen. She got on that flight. She said, I'm what are you? She's I got Pringles. And she's and she is you want a Reese cup? I'm you got Reese cups too? And then she pulling out all these different types of snacks. She's it's a long flight. And then she had the nerve to be I feel a little sick. I'm no wonder.
She's like a little kid.
She hasn't flown in 20 years and now all of a sudden you feel sick on a flight? Yeah.
She got Pringle, Reese's, and altitude sickness.
The food there was that's why I'm so happy to be dieting. When I say that I'm over it, I really am over it because the food in Las Vegas was it's the land of overindulgence, but it's just so heavy.
Yeah.
Everything is heavy.
Yes, come to my side.
I'm not mad about
It's
it.
all overrated.
Honestly, I've had a chicken wrap in the last the last day, and I'll probably get another chicken wrap for dinner. I was going to get salad downstairs, but they were all out. So I will be eating after work.
There's a guy in here this morning here to cut a commercial for Orange Theory. And I go, hey, how's Poundcake doing over there? And he goes, who? Mm-hmm. You son of a bitch. He lied to all of us.
Yeah.
Is what he did.
Well, as long as he's fit, that's all I care about. I just want to look at him.
Talking about you. You lied to all of us.
Yeah, you were supposed to go to
Not
Orange
that
Theory.
guy. I don't know that guy. I met him this morning.
As long as he's fit.
They come down because they're looking for a studio to use, and I'm you might not have gotten the memo. This place is being picked apart for, and so we were trying to find him a studio to cut a commercial, and he was with Orange Theory. You lied to us.
I've tried to get
tried.
No, I'm talking about
Not the
years
endorsement.
ago.
You said you were going to just join Orange Theory.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did lie. All right, I lied.
At least he said it.
But I'm
But
dying.
we knew it.
Okay.
All right, good for you. Because let's reset. Your diet begins now, and Mary wants you to lose 20 pounds by our last show of the year. Which
Lose and keep off.
December the 15th.
He doesn't get to lose it in the next 2 months by not eating and then be like, oh, I lost it, and then gain it back.
We
You
gotta
have to
have weigh-ins.
lose and keep off.
We gotta
That's
have
why-
weigh-ins here too. Like,
I don't own a scale. Does
I
anybody-
have a couple scales.
Someone bring a scale in.
Yeah.
And wait,
There's a scale down in the gym. We can just use that.
Yeah.
It's one of those.
Me and Cody can't get in there.
Well, he and I could.
Okay.
So
But I'm saying, yes, somebody would have to go in there with him.
Yeah.
So about that, so I weighed in my heaviest. So there was a restaurant outside. We want to talk about overindulgence. Right on the strip, right on Fremont Street, there's a restaurant. I don't know. I think it's called like Pig Out or something like that. They have a scale.
Take out. They just have it right there.
They have a scale
black and
outside
white.
of the restaurant, and anybody 300 pounds and over eats free.
Love that.
So my brother was like, "Oh my gosh, Vegas is great. This place was made for me." He hopped on that scale, and like he's clearly over 300 pounds. I was 208. That's the heaviest I've ever weighed.
Have you ever broken 200 before?
No.
208. Jesus.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Brother.
I want to get it before. I mean, it's already a problem, but like that was at my Vegas heaviest.
Yeah.
So now.
So
I'm
what
like,
did your brother get on the scale?
Yeah.
What was he?
He was in the 340 range.
Your brother is 340 pounds.
Around there, yep. I don't remember the exact number, but it was above 300.
My dad was 386.
Your dad was a giant man.
He's only 40 pounds heavier
But his
than-
brother, isn't your brother super short? Your dad was a tall guy.
No,
right?
he was 5'10".
Oh, he was?
Cody's height, but 3 times the size.
Oh, I thought your dad was
I'm not
taller.
5'10". I'm like 5'8".
Wow.
No, my dad was only
Is your brother shorter than you or shorter?
Jesus.
Like the same height as you?
I feel like he's the same height as me. There's pictures of us together, so I might be a little taller. But yeah, he's a big dude. He needs to get that together. But
Did he have to pay for a second seat on the flight?
no, because he was sitting next to me.
You're all crunched up.
He told me that story. He said, this is one of the things he said. He was like, "I'm so glad I'm sitting next to y'all because I know y'all not gonna fat shame me." So I'm sitting I got the bitch seat. I'm in the middle, and my mom got the window chewing her Pringles like a little kid.
Yeah.
And my brother's in the aisle. He said that there was one time, the last time he flew, where he immediately sat down and the guy immediately rang the bell.
Yeah, he's like, "I gotta go."
And the flight attendant came through. Oh, this is what I was going to tell you, how ratchet my brother is, and I have to talk about him because this was ridiculous. He has no filter. He was telling me a story about the
Ladies and
last...
gentlemen, if you just interrupt, if you look over to them, see 20 CNC, 20 what? Forget it.
Go ahead. Screwed it up. Go ahead.
Sorry, he was telling me about the last time he flew, and he's telling the story on the plane for everyone to hear. He said, "I'm so glad I'm sitting next to y'all because the last time I flew, there was a guy next to me. He was rude. I sat down and he immediately rang the bell." Now, mind you, there are 2 black women and a black man sitting directly in front of us. And then, so my brother is explaining the story, and he says, when the guy rang the bell, the flight attendant came through, and she was a black chick, so she had an attitude. And he said this out loud. He's like, "She black, so she got an attitude." and the guy was like, "He needs to move." And she was like, "No, sir, he is not gonna move." I need to move.
340 is a big dude. Like,
Yeah.
in that guy's defense.
Okay.
You know? I mean, when you fly, you kind of pays your money and takes your chances.
Yeah.
You can't control who's sitting next to you.
Right.
But there's no doubt that if you're sitting next to a guy that big, you're going to be like, "Man, I got no room."
Right.
Yeah, he's a big dude. And so he was like, "I got upgraded to first class," and the dude that rang my bell was salty because he thought he was going to get upgraded. I got upgraded. I'm like, "Yeah, you need the leg room. You need a wider seat."
Why didn't you get in like the exit row? He could have bought tickets
Costs
in the
extra.
exit. Huh?
Costs extra.
I don't know.
Well,
if
he
that
weighs
does it.
extra.
Right, but I'm saying that's probably why they didn't do it. It costs more money to be in the exit row.
It's worth it, though.
I don't. Yeah,
Not that much more.
there was a lot of big people on that flight. Like the fact that these.
It's America, of course.
I would say they squeeze into those little seats. They make do because there was a guy taller than my brother and wider than my brother, and somehow, some way, it was almost like
They're
the.
used to getting into tight spaces.
I was gonna say the arms of the seat kind of made his body look like an hourglass because he was real big at the top, real big at the bottom, and the arms were like squeezing them. I'm like, oh, he's gonna have a very uncomfortable flight. He didn't say a word. I'm like, is he breathing? Is he good?
Well, that is the irony, is that we're a very fat country, but companies aren't looking to accommodate people's bodies. They're looking to maximize profits.
Right.
So they're like, we're going to squeeze as many seats as we can onto this plane, right? before, in a couple years from now, they'll just rip all the seats out, and you'll just be standing on the plane like cattle.
You're
like
got
strap
your hand
hangers
up.
over there in the subway. So, yeah.
But wait, what does that have to do with the black people sitting in front of you? Did they say something?
No, but that was just a rude thing to say. Like this black flight attendant, she was black, so she had to have an attitude.
Oh, okay.
He said it, and I'm like,
But he's also black.
He's
so I
also
don't-
black. I
but
mean,
he should know better.
Yeah, but
Well-
you know he doesn't.
You said he's ratchet. That was your word for your brother.
He is ratchet, but I'm like, I'm not trying to get slapped on this plane because there ain't nothing we can do because you were being rude. You're saying stuff like that on a plane, and it was just rude. But other than that,
Other than that, it was fine.
yeah, we went to the Cat's Meow, which is like a karaoke club, and not only do they sing karaoke, but they blast your version of the song out to Fremont Street, so it has speakers out on the street.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
How annoying is that?
Very annoying.
You know what though? Good marketing. That if they're blasting it out there, people are like, oh, clearly this place has karaoke. If they're looking for karaoke.
My brother would not let it go. I'm like, I don't want to go here. But then
Did your mom sing a song?
No, my brother sang a song. He sung Tennessee Whiskey.
Is he good?
Yeah, he was good.
Who does Tennessee Whiskey?
Chris Stapleton.
Chris Stapleton.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys went over to the D Hotel, right? That's like the only new hotel up there, I think. They're starting to they're starting to stripify old Vegas.
The D Hotel is where we went to go. I was foolish, and I believed someone on the street. They told me that if you buy a cup from that hotel or like a cup from off the street, they'll refill. Your next drink will be cheaper. You won't have to pay for the cup. Well, that wasn't true. I bought a cup from the D Hotel, and then it was $29 for the drink. And I was like, okay, that's fine. Next time I come back, it'll be cheaper. I go back, and they're like, okay, that'd be $29. And I'm like, what? No, I mean, I got the cup. They're like, great. Yeah, $29.
Yeah, they're just cheesy. It's just marketing cups for them, so people are walking around in the street.
Yeah.
It is a nice cup, sir. You have to pay me money.
I was the dumb. And I was like, okay, didn't even get like a discounted rate or anything. It was just the same.
I don't think that's a town of discounted rates in any capacity.
Well, 300 pounds you eat for free.
Hey, that's pretty good.
That's a discount.
That's right. You won't be coming back probably because you'll die walking back to your hotel. So it's a win-win for us here at the Spotted Hog? What was the place called?
Pig Out.
I don't know if that's what it was called. I just know it had a scale out there. And I was like, wow, that's bold. And then we went to
Fix Last Resort is what it's called, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah!
We went to the Mob Museum. And honestly, I mean, it was interesting, but that was probably the most boring part of our trip. Like,
well, those first few pictures you posted, I was like, oh, this poor guy is doing stuff his mom wants to do.
My brother wanted to do that. My
brother.
brother.
I was going to say, I can't imagine you were clamoring to go to the Mob
Everybody.
Museum.
That's why I was pissed, because everybody had their day. And my mom doubled up because my brother had the Mob Museum. My mom wanted to do Jabberwockies, and she also wanted to do the bus tour. And I was like, all right,
where's your day?
Yeah, I wanted to do Gay Day. We didn't have any time. Because all the
drag them to...
What, did you want to go see a drag show?
I wanted to go to Piranha.
Oh, I don't know what
and
that
my
is.
mom, it's a big gay bar that my friend used to work at, and my mom wouldn't let me go by myself. She's like, "Nah, you gonna go off with somebody." I'm
You're
like,
30. She didn't
My
let you
mom
go.
wouldn't let me go.
she's like, "You're in Vegas. Someone's gonna take you." I'm like, "No one wants me, Mom. Like, no one wants me. I've tried to give myself up."
Show her your rejections on Tinder.
Like, see,
Grindr,
I'm not
yeah.
hot enough. All right, let me go play.
Yeah, so
It's only $10 to get into Piranha too. It's like a dirt cheap cover.
It's off the strip, I think.
Wouldn't it be great? I wish Poundcake's mom got one of those retractable kid leashes and put him on it.
She's not above
around the
it.
strip.
Get out of here.
There was after I got my mom a picture with those shirtless cowboys, there was a group of nuns or nuns
Yeah,
in quotation
dressed
marks. They had the habit on and then had cross nipple stickers on. And mom was like, "Oh, that's just blasphemous." She's like, and my brother's like, "I kind of want a picture with them." We looked down and she had an ankle monitor on. One of them had an ankle monitor. I was like, "You gotta love Vegas because." What is a jail sentence? Like, you could pay for your bail. You could do whatever you need to do just by standing in one of those little circles.
Community service.
That's so
right.
funny.
But Fremont Street's fun though, right?
She had to have lived there then. She had to have lived nearby. If she had an ankle bracelet, you can only go so far from your home.
But if that's
a
her,
house arrest.
but if that's her job,
Yeah, if she's got work release
like privileges.
Yeah,
Wow.
if that's her work, then she's like, I'm allowed to make this money. And if anything, it was a gimmick because everyone's like, oh, she needs this. It could have been a fake ankle bracelet for all we know.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's a nice grift.
Yeah.
A fake ankle bracelet.
Man, I was watching a documentary on gambling addicts, and there was a guy who did that. He was like, come take a picture with me during the day, and he would take all of his money and go gamble it. He would go play slot machines or cards or whatever, and he lived in a sewer. He lived in like a big old drainage pipe. Him and his girlfriend, I'm not even kidding,
He lived in a big old drainage pipe.
they went like a half a mile into this giant pipe,
Yeah.
and he
was a Teenage Mutant Ninja Gambler.
kind of, yeah. They had like this whole setup in there.
It's a chud.
Of like blanket doors, and like they like made a little apartment in this giant pipe.
Isn't that city
He
property?
has a girlfriend.
Yeah, he has a girlfriend. She doesn't do any of the posing for pictures or whatever, but he does that. He like dresses up in costume, gets pictures taken, uses the money to gamble, and she said that he's been up like 10 grand in a day before and spent it all back, and she's like, I don't want to live in a drain.
How are they living? That's city property, right?
I mean-
subterranean. How are they living there?
I don't know. They probably don't know about
Because
it.
they have those big storm drains. Nobody's monitoring them.
But the
And it doesn't
city
rain that much.
But the city works department doesn't ever do a sweep of.
Why would they?
I don't think.
Because
doesn't
and if they
rain.
do,
pipes. I don't know.
They do. They go, all right, we'll tear all this stuff down, but they're going to be back tomorrow.
Yeah.
So
So they live
they
there.
usually just let it go.
And when he had really good days, they would get to stay in a hotel for the night. So they would like splurge, and he would, instead of spending, if he made $300 in a day, he would take 100 of it and get her a hotel for the night to like keep her there. I also think she might have been addicted to drugs.
I was going to
But,
say
That's
a pretty good
chance. Yeah.
That's a good
He
indicator.
was addicted to gambling, so he did the pictures.
You got to
and all
find
that kind of
another
stuff.
They have
addict.
shared
to-
interests.
Right.
That's right.
To live in a drain
Live
pipe.
in a drainage pipe. Honey, tonight you're not sleeping in a drainage
You
pipe.
get to take a shower.
Yeah, that's right. Now tomorrow we'll go back to the drainage pipe because I lost a lot today.
But some people, that's how they make their living. He said they take the pictures, they live nearby, they eat at the free buffets.
What would
you know,
he dress
like,
up as to take pictures with?
He had a bunch of different costumes, cowboy stuff, chaps, like all different.
Dude.
Nothing. He didn't have like a Spider-Man outfit or anything like that, but he was like character.
There's no
Generic character.
yeah, pirate. You know,
there's no age limit on people taking those pictures because I've saw like looks like 12 to 13-year-olds taking pictures with those like I don't even know what to call them with the wings and
The showgirl type girl.
yeah, like it looks like they're doing like a burlesque show.
Yeah.
And they're like showing their butt. I'm like, oh my gosh, what
If you
dad-
pay for the picture, they don't care how old you
that's
are.
the trashy dad who thinks it's funny.
yeah,
Like,
look
put
at
your
it.
boobs in his face.
Right, but he's also got a lot of opinions about how you should be in control of your body.
No,
Or
I don't
like-
get to be in control.
Right. Well, and he'll be like, don't be bringing those groomers to the drag brunch or whatever.
those groomers.
Yeah,
Listen, say what you want about that guy and his kids. They're living above ground.
They are above
and
ground.
that is a win for any gambler or not. Any day above ground is a good day.
Listen, if you're living in an actual domicile made for human habitation, you're winning.
I
you
lived
can still be
underground.
you can be underground and still be ahead of the guy living in the drainage
That's
ditch.
true. Some people mean that in like an existential sense.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, any day above ground's a good day. This guy means it literally.
Yeah.
Like, honey, I'm up. We're staying over at the Luxor tonight. It's going to be a good day. Let me take a break. You'll be up $1,000 if you can go fuel yourself shortly. About 20 minutes from now, 3:30 is that next keyword to get yourself $1,000. So